Hey folks, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I explain to you what Polisphere is, how you can get it, and also I showcase how you can use it in Bitwig Studio in conjunction with the clip launcher, and how you can make some kind of generative music with the clip launcher, or at least how I do it. And I already explained this in my in a recent video on my German channel, but I want to also include this here on this channel in this video with these presets. So Polisphere is basically a big library of good sounding or musical sounding presets for Bitwig Studio I maintain on my Patreon page. And of course you need a Patreon subscription to download the package. And it's not complete yet because I want to add every month some kind of presets to it and want to maintain it basically. But at some point we should have a nice big Bitwig Studio library of good sounding, musical sounding presets. This is at least my goal. And the main reason for that was when I use some presets from all over the place, different synthesizers, I have the feeling that most of these presets are basically made for experimentation, or for showing off what the synth can do, or like, you know, showing off basically how you can use the synth or something like this. And just a minority of presets are actually made for a musical context. And I want to change that a bit, kind of, and want to bring you some usable musical sounding presets you can instantly use for your projects. And the first patch of sounds or presets for this library is aimed at pad sounds. So in this video I'll show you how you can use these presets and layer them and create a nice big sounding atmosphere that's also kind of generative but not really, and you also only use the clip launcher for that, so you don't need the grid or anything fancy for that. It's just, you know, your MIDI keyboard, you record some lines, you use the clip launcher, and everything evolves and changes all the time. So I got this idea of course from first Omnisphere, because it's a nice big library of sounds and, you know, way out there. I think they have over 2,000 presets or so in the library, and every preset sounds super nice. So I'm completely far off from that, but it's more like, you know, I took the name for having a goal or showing basically where I want to go. I want to have a big library of nice sounding musical presets. That's the main goal. And yeah, there will be also added, of course, some pad sounds for phase 4, or maybe a polysynth and so on, and also the sampler. And yeah, that's the main goal, basically, my main vision for that. Okay, and yeah, I got this idea from Omnisphere, and of course from different producers I watch on Twitch, on YouTube, how they construct music, and a lot of them use presets for bread and butter sound, right? You need some electric piano, you took a preset, you don't construct that. You need a nice pad sound in the background, you just take an Omnisphere preset. So it's not a shame to use these presets. I think I also try to keep them as simple as possible and usable as possible. You know, these presets, when you load up, for instance, from native instruments, and you just hit one key on the keyboard, and then you have this whole dimension opening up, different layers of sound in there. You have a bass already in there, mid sound, you have some whistles on top, some texture, so you have already a really full frequency spectrum. But these presets are basically made to show you, to make you go, wow, this sounds nice. But it's not like something you really want to use that fits into your track, because you have just a narrow frequency band you have to fill with maybe a pad sound, but then you load up these big presets and everything becomes too much. So when you download Polisphere, you can't just put it in some random directory on your hard drive. I have it here on my hard drive D, music production. I have it here in my Polarity packs directory, and it's just called Bitwig Polisphere, right? And then you have here some pad sounds in it and all the presets currently. And in Bitwig Studio, you can just go to the settings here and go to locations and can add this directory to the sound locations. I have it here, I think, here with Polarity packs d / Polarity packs, and then you can just, yeah, call it up in the browser here. So when you go to presets here, you can also input, of course, the directory name, which should be Rocking Fine. And you see all the presets in this directory here, right? So it's super simple. You don't need to go into your library of Bitwig Studio, just add it to some random directory and add the directory to the sound sources in Bitwig Studio itself, and it should be show up fine. So let's start and actually record something. I have here set my loop range. I have dialed in 85 BPM and I have here activated this loop button. And what I usually do is to start here by clicking the play button and go down to post recording action delay and set this to play recorded. And then I set here maybe 8 or 16 bars. What it does is basically when you start and hit record on a clip in the clip launcher, it stops the record after 8 bars and then it switches to play what you just recorded. So it's super handy in this workflow, and I'll show you this in a minute. And then maybe we switch here to default launch quantization to maybe 2, 4 or 8. Depends on what you want to do, but this basically delays your recording, your record starting until, you know, the transport is at a division of 8 or 4 or 2 in your project. So it starts on time, the recording starts in time, so you can delay this here. And I usually have this at 2 probably. So these 2 settings, or 3 settings, this is what we need. And then we need here at least some preset, and I start here with Dear Cat because it's a nice little cat I recorded on my Eurorack, I think. And we can just put in here a clip. And we don't need to record something here because it's just a straight note, because it defines our root node, which is the root drone. So let's hit play here. Maybe make this a bit longer, scale 200%. So it plays basically the root node as a drone and gives us some kind of anchor or some fundamental. And we can add something to it. Maybe you can also add the same note, just an octave lower. Something like this. And that's it. And it's probably plays throughout the whole song or throughout the whole session. That's okay. And now we can start to bring in some different sounds here. Maybe this one. Just drag it in. Hit here the aim button, and we can use here, I use my Stencil Morph MPE controller. And can add some layers on top. So I start record here and just record something. And it's not really important that it's in time or on the beat, or I don't need an thing here, metronome, to actually get me in time. It doesn't matter. It's more like ambient stuff, so it doesn't matter. You can see it automatically stops the record and then switches over to playing back the sequence we just recorded. And displays back now over and over. The problem with this is I don't want to have this playing back all the time, so I'm adding here empty clips just by double clicking here on these fields and select all these clips and go here to the left side and say after 8 bars play a random different clip. And now, after 8 bars, Bitwig decides to maybe switch to this clip or this clip or this clip or maybe this clip. And the more empty clips you add, the lower the chance is, the lower the chance is that the first clip is being played. So you can decide basically by adding empty clips or lower the chance of the first clip being played. So it's kind of a randomization or probability thing you can do just by adding empty clips here. So now you can see here after 8 bars it starts to play back this one, which is empty, so we don't hear the sequence we played. So we can add more of these things here. And here we can do the same thing. Maybe we're adding only 2 empty clips here. After 8 bars, we switch to play random. Okay, let's add more. You can do this with all these presets. I usually do your 20 tracks sometimes because it's fun. But then at some point you can add maybe more like more characteristic sounds like an arpeggiator or a melody or a bass line. Maybe add the polysynth here. Like this. Arpeggiator. Maybe we add here some kind of polysynth. Multi-note. Something like this. Maybe make this thing a bit longer here. Double. Maybe transpose it a bit here. Maybe just add the lead sound. Maybe with a nice reverb. And I also added the reverb here to the package. On almost all of the presets I use a preset called LS reverb, which I think stands for long simple reverb. I'm not sure. shirt. This is basically the main thing you can do with the pad sounds easily in Bitwig, and depending on what kind of combination you use for the presets or what kind of presets you choose, what kind of notes you play. And I already also only played notes from the scale, so it's not like super complicated or anything. It's just, you know, I choose a scale, then I play the scale here with the root note and the first clip. I have this long drone in the background. And then add some notes from the scale here with these presets on top. And the randomization does its thing basically and changes the atmosphere all the time. And then you start to add some bass lines and arpeggiator, maybe a lead sound, some drums, and then you have a nice starting point for a track. I mean, you can already start to arrange the track.